Greetings, astronomy aficionados. Happy December 2025. The month began with the sun releasing an X-1.9 class solar flare, the largest flare observed in over a decade. It was strong enough to create a radio blackout for Australia and parts of Southeast Asia. The last supermoon for the year rose this past Wednesday. The moon was also at its highest trajectory across the northern hemisphere, an experience called major lunar standstill. This resulted not only in a bigger and brighter moon, but also in a lunar disk that was visible for the maximum time period possible. The moon will next reach major lunar standstill in the year 2042. Sunday marked the 349th anniversary of the determination of the speed of light, calculated by a Danish astronomer observing the relationship of Jupiter and its volcanic moon, Io. This month, we're discussing how cosmic explorers sense space beyond sight. I'm Science Ben, let's discover this month's sky. Peering outside, the day's brightest object, the sun, today reaches the highest point in its apparent trajectory at 12:02 p.m. Solar noon. Continuing to nightfall, we have to travel to just before tomorrow to see a waning gibbous moon rise in the east. At about 66% surface illumination, it will still shine brighter than planetary giants Jupiter and Saturn nearby in Gemini and Pisces, respectively. Tonight's moon appears close by Regulus, the brightest star in Leo the Lion. At 10:45 p.m. directly overhead in the south is Taurus the Bull, and below that is Orion the Hunter with its easily located 3-star belt. If you can find the moon and Orion, these other 3 patterns should also be easy to locate. Orion doesn't battle the bull alone, but is joined by a team composed of his hunting dogs, Canis Major and Minor, and the lesser-known creature, Monoceros. No, not a rhino, something far more fearsome. A unicorn. In Greek, mono means one, and kairos means horn. Mono, kiro. Monoceros. One horn, unicorn. And this unicorn backs the magic. In the cheek of Monoceros lies NGC 2237, the Rosette Nebula. The chest of Monoceros holds the heart-shaped cluster M50. And on Monoceros' mind, possibly also on your mind, is Christmas. NGC 2264, the Christmas Tree Nebula. Tonight, the Monoceratid meteor shower peaks. A minor shower with an average peak rate of 2 meteors per hour, the Monoceratids do, however, have a wide viewing window. Search for shooting stars radiating out of the unicorn between the hours of 7 p.m. and 6:46 a.m. now through December 20th. Chances of seeing meteors this month are better than usual, as a collection of showers are currently co-happening. The Pupid Velid shower in the constellation Vela the Sails peaked Sunday, but will continue through the 15th. This Friday, the Sigma Hydrids peak, but will also continue through the 15th. The largest shower of the month, the The largest shower of the month, the Geminid meteor shower, peaks the 14th before disappearing on the 17th. The December Leonis Minorid peak on the 20th, and the Ursid meteor shower on the 22nd. Deep sky objects well placed this month includes the Orion Nebula this Monday night, and closing out the month, the moon will approach M45, the Pleiades. At the end of last month, NASA announced that data collected from their Transiting Exoplanet Survey satellite, TESS, had identified an additional collection of stars that were born alongside the long-observed Pleiades, tripling the previous number to 3,000 stars, making up the Greater Pleiades complex. How long observed? The Pleiades are mentioned in the Old Testament books of Job and Amos. Part of astronomy is looking at the same thing over and over again to discover what may not have been seen before. We talked a little bit about what other planets might feel like back in June's Void, but do astronomers have a sense of what space sounds or smells or tastes like? Thanksgiving Day, NASA informed the press that lightning had been discovered on the planet Mars, as revealed by the Perseverance rover. There are no images of the phenomena because Perseverance didn't see the lightning, Perseverance heard it. In addition to 23 different cameras used for everything from general navigation and hazard avoidance to recording high-definition video and determining soil chemical composition, the Perseverance rover also carries 2 microphones. One microphone, located on the side of the rover, recorded the craft's descent and landing on Mars. The other is located high on the robot's supercam. The SuperCam uses a laser to blast Martian rocks into a plasma, releasing heat and vibration in the process. The SuperCam can view the heat and use its spectrometer to help identify the rock's chemical makeup. The SuperCam microphone hears the vibrations, gaining information about the rock's mass and hardness. During these observations, the microphone records continuously for a period of 3.5 minutes, often capturing additional unintentional discoveries, like wind, the movement of dust grains, and yes, lightning. Sound works differently on the red planet. Mars's atmosphere is colder than Earth's, making sound travel slower. It's also thinner, making sound quieter. It's also composed mostly of carbon dioxide, making sounds more muffled. The adage, "in space, no one can hear you scream," is inspired by the relatively small amount of matter present compared to the vastness of space. In a near vacuum, there isn't a lot of stuff to transmit sound, so it doesn't travel very far. But that doesn't mean the sound isn't there. The sun, like all stars, is a nuclear fusion reaction that radiates energy as heat and light. Radio waves bounce in loops and eruptions. The Solar and Heliospheric Observatory, shared by NASA and ESA, have recorded this movement, and when sped up 42,000 times the human audible range, the sun sounds something like this. The study of these sounds allows helioseismologists and other scientists to learn about the interior of the sun, the part we can't see. Okay, so we know that there are sounds in space because we have tools to record them. I can record audio here in Discovery Studio, but I don't have any tools that record taste or smell. What about those? Both Apollo and ISS astronauts have reported space smelling like gunpowder. At least that's the smell sensed following the return from spacewalk. One theory is that while outside the spacecraft, single molecules of oxygen stick to the astronaut's spacesuit. Once back in the craft and repressurized with molecular oxygen O2, the single oxygen molecules bond and form O3, ozone, which has a sour metallic smell. Molecular analysis of space astrochemistry can tell us a lot about off-Earth tastes and smells. Venus is covered in sulfur clouds, so probably smells like rotten eggs or a paper mill. Uranus has a methane atmosphere and ammonia ice. It probably smells like a gross bathroom. Sagittarius B2, the most massive and active star-forming region of the Milky Way, contains large amounts of ethanol and methanol. It may taste and smell like beer. In April 2009, a team of international astronomers published the discovery of ethyl formate at the center of the galaxy, a compound that gives a certain berry its distinct flavor. The Milky Way may taste like raspberries. Are you hungry? Nauseated? Senses overloaded? You're welcome. Thank you for joining in the last interstellar discussion of 2025. We hope you return for the first discussion of 2026 when we will preview the top planned space missions for the coming year. That will be on January the 13th. Until then, thanks for watching and keep discovering.